Be good at what you do. It is the right way to go. But becoming the best is about never being satisfied with what you have done. It is about continually improving on who you are. It is knowing success will come because you know who you are and what you stand for. It's about initiating, yes, continually creating situations that force you to become more than you currently are. The simple truth is that in order to become best, you have to be obsessed. You have to put in an awful lot of time and hard work and couple that with desire and unflagging perseverance. Through perseverance, many people win success out of what seemed destined to be certain failure. That's the catch on Africa Diary today, a program that serves you latest trending issues with feedback or flashbacks on what happened during the week and, of course, what is about to be. Africa Diary is reaching you from CBA TV, and my name is Ajara Tijani. Welcome. All right, welcome back. This is Africa Diary in case you're joining us, and my name is Ajara Tijani once again. Now, from Somaliland, a lot have happened, but the lens of our camera was able to capture the high points. Now, not quite long, there was a beating of female journalists by police. Yes, you heard me right. Now, the main opposition party of Somaliland kicked against this and launched a virulent criticism against this dastard act. And from the police quarter, or let me say a defense explaining why such acts happened. What was the excuse? They said the lady misbehaved. But the question here is, was that enough to beat a woman? Okay, now this is coming from Somaliland Lawyers Association criticizing beating of female journalists by police. Somaliland Lawyers Association has criticized beating a female journalist by the police this week. They also demanded those who were involved in the act be brought before justice while accusing the police of violating human rights. The report.
runtii ururka qaran ahaan dhacdadaasi aad ka foosho xun oo qof kasta oo arkay aad uga argagaxay aad iyo aad baan u cambaaraynaa.
Somaliland Lawyers Association has expressed their concern over the beating a female journalist at a police station in Hargeisa this week. They said that they paid a visit to the victim's residential house in Hargeisa and strongly condemned the police brutality. Somaliland Lawyers Association believes the central government has a role to play in the police brutality, citing the amendment of the police law and removing the Independent Accountability Commission of the police. They asked the judiciary system to bring the police officers who were involved in the act to justice and said the police must be the vehicle of the nation's justice, not to be a place for people to be victims.
in cidda falka geysatay laga cabanaya ay tahay hay'adii booliska ee hayd inay noqoto saaxiibka dadweynaha inay noqoto halka qofka cabanaya u yimaado.
On Saturday, Hoda Grace, who is a female journalist, accused the Somaliland police of torturing her and her mother after they went to report a case to the police station. She recounted that she and her mother had sustained severe injuries on her body that she can't show on camera. Faisal Hayes, the spokesperson of Somaliland police, elaborating how the incident took place, said that the female journalist drove her car forcefully into the police station last Saturday evening while ignoring the officer's orders and put all blame on her.
All right, welcome back. Moving out to Somalia. Somalia's politicians strike a last-minute deal, but fears of conflict remain high. In a late-night meeting on Thursday, Somalia's Prime Minister persuaded opposition leaders to postpone their plan for mass anti-government protest and apologized for violence last Friday that targeted candidates running in an election that was meant to take place this month, but is now delayed indefinitely.
Somalia is now in a protracted constitutional crisis, with opposition leaders claiming that President Mohamed Abdullahi Mohamed, commonly known by his nickname Farmajo, has overstayed his mandate. Tensions spiked last Friday, leading to exchanges of gunfire on the streets of the capital, Mogadishu, heightening fears the election disputes could spiral into civil conflict. Thursday's meeting did not yield a new date for the election, and Farmajo, who has become an increasingly controversial figure, was not directly involved in the agreement. Clashes in Mogadishu threw Somalia's political crisis into dangerous new phase, while Somalia's Western backers heralded the deal as a step in the right direction. Current and former defense officials said the potential for the conflict remained high, with security forces increasingly under pressure to take sides amid deepening political divisions.
Still in Somalia, the Council of Presidential Candidates of Somalia demanded an immediate investigation into the attack of two former presidents by the federal troops last week. The council also asked Farmajo to hand over power to a transitional council.
In a letter addressed to the international community, the Council of Presidential Candidates of Somalia has urged an immediate investigation into the attack of former presidents by the federal government troops last week. The council accused the president of failing to reach agreement with the political stakeholders and work it out. The last consultative meeting in Dusamareb, where 2 days were left before the end of his term office. The opposition candidates retreated that they don't recognize Farmajo as president, and the only way he could have stayed in office was through political agreement with the political stakeholders, which he failed to secure. On Wednesday, the council called for more anti-government protests on Friday and said they will continue until a new president is elected in the country. The incumbent president Mohamed Abdullahi Farmajo's term office ended on 8th February, and still no agreement has been reached on the electoral impasse.
And now to Ethiopia. Lots have happened in that region. Now, Ethiopia says Tigray humanitarian situation improving. Ethiopia's Foreign Minister Demeke Mekonnen Hassan has told a United Nations human rights meeting that humanitarian access in the Tigray region is improving, but that security remains a work in progress.
Ethiopia's Foreign Minister Demeke Mekonnen Hassan has told a United Nations human rights meeting that humanitarian access in the Tigray region is improving, but that security remains a work in progress. He said Ethiopia took its responsibilities to all refugees very seriously and had reached out to 2 million people in need of aid. A United Nations report on Sunday sounded the alarm of a very critical malnutrition situation unfolding in Tigray. Conflict in Tigray erupted last November after forces loyal to the region's governing party, the Tigray People's Liberation Front, attacked federal army camps located in the region, killing troops and seizing weapons. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed ordered a law enforcement operation to restore constitutional order after accusing the TPLF of waging rebellion against Addis Ababa. The TPLF has been since ousted from power and arrested warrants issued against the region's fugitive leaders. Ethiopia has named a new administration of Tigray since January, but it has struggled to govern. Fighting between governments and rebel forces has persisted, making it almost impossible to restore services and had resulted in further displacements.
Still from Ethiopia, Biden discusses Tigray crisis with Kenyan leader. United States President Joe Biden has discussed the crisis in Ethiopia's northern region of Tigray with Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta in a phone call on Thursday. the White House has said.
The two leaders discussed the deteriorating humanitarian and human rights crisis in Tigray. According to the readout of the call, they also spoke on the need to prevent further loss of life and ensure humanitarian access. Tigray has been hit by conflict since November between Ethiopian-led troops and forces allied with the region's ousted ruling party, the Tigray People's Liberation Front. Thousands of people are reported to have been killed and about 2 million have fled their homes. The International Committee of the Red Cross this week warned that the need for humanitarian aid was overwhelming. The White House said that President Biden emphasized the U.S. commitment to working with Kenya, which neighbors Ethiopia to the south, to support regional peace and security.
Now in Kenya, Kenya's space agency to launch 2 mini rockets. The Kenya Space Agency KSA is set to launch 2 mini rockets from the Malindi Space Center in collaboration with the University of Rome in August.
The rockets will be launched using high-altitude balloons, an improvement of the earlier huge rockets that were being launched in the 1980s and 1990s. This was revealed yesterday during the opening of a Space Sector High-Level Engagement Forum dubbed The Space Sector We Want in Kenya, attended by Defense Cabinet Secretary Monica Juma, KSA Chairman Major General Retired James Arwasa, Kenya Civil Aviation Authority Director General Gilbert Kibe, and other stakeholders. The use of high-altitude balloons as launch pads for mini rockets and satellites reduces the cost of sending rockets into space, Mr. Arwasa said. He noted that satellites and rockets have become smaller because of advances in technology. We have students who are already working on building and launching the 2 at the Malindi Space Center. We're working with the University of Rome. The launch was pushed to August after 7 professors involved in the project from Rome tested positive for COVID-19. We were expecting 9 professors from the University of Rome to join us to witness the students launching the mini rockets, but unfortunately the 7 tested positive. The benefits of having satellites in space include selling data collected to other countries. It also means availability of quality data for use in making efficient decisions in the fight against climate change, promotion of national security, enhancement of agriculture, learning, identifying areas with minerals through Earth observation. The Kenya Space Agency, Mr. Arwasa said, will ensure information is centralized and accessible to all to avoid duplication.
And now, report from Northern Africa. Egypt approved Russia's Sputnik V vaccine for inoculation. The Egyptian Drug Authority announced on Wednesday that it has approved Russian Sputnik V a month after the start of the vaccination campaign.
The Egyptian Drug Authority announced on Wednesday that it has approved Russian Sputnik V a month after the start of vaccination campaign. According to a statement posted in its Facebook page, the Drug Authority said it had given urgent approval for the use of both vaccines, Sputnik V and AstraZeneca imported from South Korea. In the post, it said the number of vaccines that have not been given the green light for use stands at 4, after the Egyptian Drug Authority issued emergency licensing for Sinopharm, Covishield, AstraZeneca vaccines. South Korea had previously approached China's Sinopharm vaccine and AstraZeneca from the Anglo-Swedish group, which was produced in India, a shipment of which was received in late January. Egypt, a nation of over 100 million, began vaccinating its medical staff against coronavirus with Sinopharm vaccine on January 24th. The campaign is expected to continue with elderly people followed by those with chronic diseases before the rest of the population. Russian Sovereign Fund has confirmed Egypt's approval of its vaccine, saying Sputnik V is now approved in 35 countries around the world. The North African nation has officially recorded more than 179,000 cases of COVID-19 since the pandemic.
Now the train is in West Africa. Now something happened in DRC and it's so tragic and so sad. That was the killing of the Italian ambassador to DRC. Investigations set to begin in DR Congo following the death of Italian envoy. Congolese investigators arrived in Goma on Thursday to try to clarify the circumstances in which the Italian ambassador, his guard, a carabinieri, and a driver working for the World Food Programme were killed earlier this week.
The authorities in the Democratic Republic of Congo also sent a delegation to the region to meet with members of the United Nations and other NGOs acting in the east of the country where the attack against the UN convoy took place. The purpose of today's meeting with the humanitarian workers based in Gumma was to plan what to do next. Christian Bushiri, senior advisor to the DRC presidency, told journalists it's necessary to have a close collaboration between humanitarians and officials, between the states and NGOs, he said. According to Bushiri, the government has requested the NGOs share more information about their daily management, their field trips and their movements in general. We demand this close collaboration that can help us to contribute to defeating the terrorism that is rampant in the east of the country, he said. Diego Zorilla, United Nations Deputy Humanitarian Coordinator in DRC, said the NGOs will strengthen their collaboration with the government. A report from Ghana says Ghana became the first country to receive a shipment of COVID-19 vaccines from a global effort to equitably distribute doses after a plane landed on Wednesday with 600,000 AstraZeneca shots.
Ghana became the first country to receive a shipment of COVID-19 vaccine from a global effort to equitably distribute doses after a plane landed on Wednesday with 600,000 AstraZeneca shots. The rollout is a first step toward getting doses to low and middle-income countries cut out of the global vaccine race. The doses will be enough to vaccinate some 300,000 healthcare and frontline workers in Ghana, a country of around 31 million people that is currently battling its second wave of infections. More than 190 countries signed up to participate in COVAX, a multilateral effort to develop and contribute coronavirus vaccine doses. The COVAX scheme is led by the WHO and also involves the Global Vaccine Alliance, Gavi, and the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovations, CEPI. The main sponsors of the scheme noted that the 2 billion doses to be shipped to developing countries this year should be enough to inoculate around 20% of the population of the 92 poorest economies in the world and end what they call the acute phase of the pandemic. For the whole year, the AstraZeneca vaccine is forecast to make up about one-third of COVAX supplies, assuming that the shot by Johnson & Johnson and Novavax and other manufacturers are authorized in the coming month. Although the vaccines are not generally intended for children, UNICEF is involved in the scheme because of its expertise in procurement and the logistics of vaccine delivery. Ghana has recorded more than 80,700 cases of coronavirus and 580 deaths since the pandemic began. These numbers are believed to fall short of the actual toll because of low levels of testing. Kamil Sadiq reporting for CBA TV.
All right, that has been the package for Africa Diary. We hope you enjoy all of it, every bit of it, and every part of African continents that we've visited on the program today. Okay, we'll give you that which you always love to see. I'm talking about African proverbs. It is very, very unique and special to us. All right, we hope you like every bit of it. Join us next week for yet another refreshing episode of Africa Diary. My name is Ajara Tijani, and please like, comment, and subscribe to all our channels. I'm talking about all social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, and the rest of them. Until another time, from CBA TV, we say bye for now.